Hey everybody, this is Todd with Industrial Comfort. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I took two pieces of pine from the trash and turned them into this bench. I found two really cool beams discarded in a trash pile. So I grabbed them, and the first thing that I did was run them through the planer, not only to surface them, but also to ensure that they were both the same thickness. Once the beams were planed to the same dimensional thickness, I marked the location where I'm going to use my biscuit cutter to cut biscuits for the joining process. With the biscuits cut, I glue up both boards, join them together, and stick them in the clamps. With the boards now joined, I use my circular saw to square off both ends of what will eventually become the top of the bench. In order to get the nested dish that you see on the top of the bench, I needed to first make a template from a piece of 3/8 inch plywood. I'll put a link in the video description that will show you how I make these templates in another video. With the template now completed, I mount it to the top of the bench and I use my router to cut the perimeter of what will eventually be the nested dish. This perimeter will serve as the boundary for the next step, which is where I'll take this over to the drill press to remove all the material within the dish area. To complete this step of the project and all subsequent steps using the router, you'll want to use a router jig like I've got here with the clear plastic, and I'll put a link in the description that shows you how to make one of these. Yeah, I suppose the vacuum isn't doing much good here. And the vacuum still isn't doing much. With most of the material removed using my Forstner bit, I take a chisel and I remove any of the remaining material. Using a 1/4 inch radius dish bit, I clean out all the material in the area that's going to form the dish. The beams had a ton of checks and cracks, so I mix up some epoxy resin to fill in the voids, which will give the top a really smooth finish. For the final finish, I use one of my favorite top coats for furniture, which is Rubio Monocoat. This stuff is really expensive, but I love the way it goes on. It's super easy to apply and leaves a really nice finish. I picked up some 2" by 1/4" steel bent legs that I mount to the bottom of the bench on each end. As a final step, I add some gray Mexican beach pebble to finish off that rustic look. I hope you enjoyed the project. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.